this fly is an out and out brownie fly. It will catch rainbows. However, there's times when you're in a competition and the rainbows completely switch off. And it always pays if it'll go away and catch a brownie, because you're allowed a brownie in your bag. And this is the fly for me, especially when it's bright, a little bit of sun. The sparkle works really, really well. Easy fly to tie, but geez, is it effective. So let's go ahead and tie them. So if this is your first time to the channel, welcome. If you're a returning visitor, I really appreciate the support. Thank you ever so much. It's great when people watch your videos and get a few hints and tips. So I've started off, this is a short shank special, size 6. You have to bend the eye back a little bit to get it in the gauge. You can do it on an 8 as well, but I'm doing it on a 6 for easy tying. My eyes aren't what they used to be. So I've got in there a bed of black tying thread. Any black tying thread, doesn't really matter. I have, however, I've got this stuff. It's a mixture of gold and silver flash, and I want to pull out a decent amount. I'll show you in a second. So I've got quite a decent amount here, and all I'm going to do is get it and spin it in my fingers. I want a tail, but I want a wing as well. So it's a bit faffy, but it's worth it. So I've got if you imagine, I've got 2 lengths here. I've got one coming out the front, one coming out the back. Just tidy this up a little, because this bit's coming back. Okay. I trim the tail to size. I know what it is, because I've got a mark on my vise. And I've got some 15mm black Fritz. And all I'm going to do is strip a little bit away for the core, to expose the core, and then tie that in. Sometimes if you wet these, they stick together and it keeps them out of the way like that. So we're creating a blob here, and the way to create a blob is touch and turns, always pulling the fibres back as you turn, and you'll get a perfect blob. People say blobs are easy to tie. Getting it right is not easy. It takes time and patience. If it's not sitting, just wet your fingers. It'll sit fine. One more turn. And I'll always lock it on opposite me. So I've locked that opposite me there. I'm then going to come back with these fibres to create my wing. Just quickly turn the vise, you can see that. So I've created my wing there. Secure everything back. And then take my thread forward as you would normally. And what I'll do is I'll stick a whip finishing just to park it. In with your scissors and cut to the length of the tail. And then back in with your Fritz. Hence I secured it on that side. And then continue tying your blob, making sure everything's stroked back as you turn. And just at your last tying in point, I'm going to pull up, and I'll just hold everything with thumb and forefinger, and I pull the fibres away from the core. And what that does is it gives me a skinny tying in point there. Secure, lock off with a thread wrap, and just tie them off. Because it's a Fritz, I prefer a blade. Just push everything out of the way, and then thumb and forefinger, tidy up. There he is. And then just in with your whip finishing tool, try not to get any fibres trapped. He says trapping one. And then just to finish the fly off, great fly, this, it really is. A little bit of varnish. Where's my varnish went? Come in. A little bit of varnish there. And then just pull the varnish back into the frets and it shapes it nice. And there you go. That's the sparkler blob, if you like, but it's the fly when it comes to catching brown trout. I really hope you enjoyed that, folks. If you did, please be kind enough to subscribe to my channel. Plenty more fly fishing and fly time videos on there. What I would say is when you're fishing this, if you're after brownies, this on the point and a sparkler on the dropper, or vice versa, this on a double on the point and a sparkler on the dropper. Really hope that helps, folks, and I really hope that you give it a try. Take care, bye bye.